Now, last Tuesday when we put up the pairings, people were saying this. Okay, tonight we're going to continue doing the pairings. We don't have a lot to do tonight though, because we did a lot the other day. Tonight we'll bring back some of the ones we did. So we put up Adom-Otchere Martin and Baomia, Mrs. Baomia. I changed the photograph because a lot of her friends drew my attention to the fact that the photograph we had used the other day was not complimentary. We apologize for that. So this is Samira Baomia and this is Adom-Otchere Martin, isn't it? Now, I said the other day that if Dr. Baomia doesn't win the contest and Adom-Otchere Martin wins, because of Dr. Baomia's influence over the New Patriotic Party and influence over Ghana's politics over the last few years in a particularly positive way, but it has also generated a lot of vitriol from the NDC because he generated a lot of narrative against them. Because of that influence Dr. Baomia, and indeed Samira have had over the politics, if for some reason Dr. Baomia is not on the NPP ticket, whoever is on the ticket must have a Baomia in the mix. Otherwise, you don't carry along the entire solid foundation of the NPP because Baomia has cut through it significantly. You can't say no to that by design or by accident or by what. Since his court appearance in 2013 up until 2022 last year, Dr. Baomia has had a significant effect on the party. So if the party is a big cake, he slashed it. So if you are going to carry the party into an election and he's not on the ticket, you have to have a Baomia in the mix. And who else? Who could it be? No one else but Hajia, Samira. So that was what we said. We are not mad. It's the analysis we're making. Some people wrote on Facebook saying you are mad. I read that, it's funny. We are not mad. We are making the analysis. Okay, so let's move away. So President Mahama also, people said, but have you forgotten about Alex Mould? Can't you see that these days he's talking a lot? Alex Mould didn't used to be like that. He's a corporate stand chat guy. He doesn't do media. Even when he was doing politics, hardly did he grant interviews. But these days he's talking because he wants to get himself in the mood of the vice president. And this is the thing about Alex Mould. Whilst he's a Mould from British Accra, his mother is Ashanti. And his vote is in Ashanti. He votes from Ashanti. He and his sister Betty Mould, they all vote in Ashanti. So they said, hey, John Mahama and Alex Mould also works. Go and put it out there. You don't want to take us out. We are the Alex Mould people. We too, we are inside the thing. We are inside. John Mahama must choose Alex Mould. So I said, okay, no problem. Alex Mould people. You see, this Good Evening Ghana is a program for all of us. So you have your own, you bring. We look at it. If it's good, we say it. If it's not too good, we'll tell you to change it and bring it back. So once you see me on the show and say that, look, I want you to say this thing for me, I'll say it because this program is for everybody. So Alex Mould people, I hope that I've done your bit. I'm sorry about Tuesday, I didn't bring you. Yes, Alexander Mould, nice man, very intelligent, to partner John Dramani Mahama. Let's clap for it. Yay. All right, it's all that. So Alex Mould and John Mahama, it's also a thought, it's a ticket that people are pushing for, isn't it? Okay. Hey, hello. This is another one that they told me that, but how can you do the ticket without Zanetta Rawlings? I said, really? Say yes, but she's from Volta, she's Rawlings' daughter. She can partner John Mahama. She's young, she's just 40-something, very, very young, early 40s. She can do the work. She can partner John Mahama, and then you have a Rawlings image in it. I said about Baomia and MPP. I'm not sure whether I can say the same thing about Rawlings and the NDC today. I'm not sure. In terms of concept, philosophy, revolution, Kadarism, perhaps. But in terms of the Rawlings image itself, I don't know whether we can say that it has such a covering over the NDC that you certainly need a Rawlings to win the election. I don't know. I've not done that work. I've done the work for the MPP and I'm sure about the Baomia effect. I'm not so sure about the GEG Rawlings one. But if that argument, if that research turns out in the affirmative, then you can consider these tickets. The Dr. Zanetta Rawlings, MP for Koliklote, and John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama wanted to score a first with a female vice president, which he did in the 2020 election, scoring a first. He's the first candidate to have nominated a female onto our presidential ticket. He's not the first. He's the first major party, I have to say. Ivaloko and others have been on the ticket, haven't they been? Ivaloko, may she rest in perfect peace. But John Mahama was the first person from a major party. Major party in Ghana only means two, NPP or NDC, but it's correct, major party. So yes, he might want to keep that. Zanetta presents the opportunity to keep that and also to be able to do something else. So that's Zanetta Rawlings and John Dramani Mahama. Please look at this carefully before I talk. I won't say anything. Just look at it. 1 minute to look at. I didn't mean 1 minute silence. So look at it, look at it. It's 10:30. Half an hour from now, we'll be closing here on Good. Look at it. Don't listen to me. Focus on it. Viewers, it's 10:30 and half an hour. We'll be closing Good Evening. Don't listen. I said look at the TV. Please Look at the TV. I've put some pairing there. It wasn't there. Look at it well. Have you, please, when you finish looking at it, you tell me, then we continue the narrative. But look at it. Are they finished? Okay, I think they finished. Please, come back to me. Come back to me. So this is a ticket I put there. Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia. Now, ordinarily, if there's no MPP and NDC, and you have this as your president and this as your vice president, I'm telling you, your country is going somewhere. I can tell you that for free. I know both men. Your country is going somewhere. Forget about NDC and MPP. If you have Dr. Bawumia as your president, number one, Spielgabra as your vice, I am telling you, your country is headed in the correct direction. You go, sir, you will stop. But the politics, NDC, MPP, fighting. That's why Kutu Achampon used to talk about union government. Please, do you remember? Achampon said, why are we doing all this? No, let's not do that. So therefore, civilian, politician, lawyer, who a doctor, Ghana Medical Association, also union government. We are now they are back. The people said no, they kill Achampon. Today, in the quiet minds of I can assure you, people may not admit, but in the quiet minds of everyone who thinks about Ghana, he's worried about the partisanship. Everybody. You think about Ghana, great country, great opportunity, great vegetation, great minerals, great society. One thing that will worry you is the partisanship. Why can't we have Haruna Idrisu and this here? Why must they split and they fight why? In the history of our country, if you look at the data of economics, I'm not sure whether it continues from, I'm speaking up to about 2008, up from independence 2008. You will find that our economic developments have been better under the military regimes. It's clear, it's there. Achampon from 1972 to 1976, brutal economic development. Rawlings from 1987 around to 1993, massive economic growth. You really don't get that kind of growth in the civilian one. First of all, because they were short-lived, I have to say that. Secondly, you can't draw in. So, I'm saying, proposal. Spielgabra has not been that active. He's not happy with John Mahama. Obviously, Spielgabra is not happy with John Mahama. He's not happy with the NDC. He's not been that active. But her brain is still there. The experience is still there. The exposure is still there. Because Spielgabra is a brilliant guy over the brilliant. I know his son, Sebastian. And when I was studying in London, we used to talk quite a bit. And anytime Sebastian talks, I said, Sebastian, you are just like your father. Then he would smile and say, chip of the old block, isn't it? Very nice guy. I don't know where he is these days, but very, very brilliant guy. Those days, around 2000, he used to work for a company called Eurasia. Now, I'll tell you this little story about Eurasia. So I had gone to look for a job, but Eurasia had published a portal. So all London universities, we applied. I had gone to look for one. They had interviewed me, blah, blah, blah. I was excited. I was looking at it. The Eurasia called me and said, Paul, you didn't get the job. You know why? We got another person. You might know him. He's called Sebastian Spielgabra. I didn't know him then. I said, that must be Spielgabra. He said, yeah, he's also Ghanaian. But he has advantage over you because he speaks French. You don't. So we are sorry. I said, okay, fine. I'll look for him. So I called his father. And he said, oh, you were Sebastian? I said, I think he works for Eurasia. He said, oh, but that job, he just got it. I said, I was the one that, me and him. And his father said, oh, Paul. I said, it's okay. So I met Sebastian when he was in Ghana. Fantastic guy. He started doing election predictions. He was right in election 99, even 2000, very brilliant guy. So that's Sebastian. But this is Spielgabra as your vice president. You are there, oh. I'm telling you, you are there. You are fine. Everything you need about a leader, he has it. Okay. Dr. Bawumia as your president, I believe that you are there. You are fully there. If you have these two men leading, we are there. So, if Dr. Bawumia wins the MPP contest, and he wants to ignore the Ashanti question, he wants to look at party unity another way, and he wants to look at another angle of uniting the country, then, because he cannot go for Haruna Idrisu because of the tribal similarity, Spielgabra is a choice. You like it, you don't like it, send a text message to us. And we also, I have to say something about the foreign minister. She turned 60 this week. A very big happy birthday to you, Shirley Adom-Otchere. She turned 60 this week, foreign minister. And foreign minister has had a lot of exposure at the foreign affairs. The second coming there as minister for 2 terms almost now. And Dr. Bawumia in the lead. That's a ticket, isn't it? It answers the gender question that as well, isn't it? And Shirley Adom-Otchere is gone. And Greater Accra is an important region to win if you want to become president of Ghana, isn't it? So that's another ticket. By the way, happy birthday to Shirley. Last week people were asking me, what about this, what about that? What about this thing? Ernesto Sapon, that's what it's about. Ernesto Sapon is a businessman, and I was making the point that if Dr. Bawumia was to go for a business ticket and satisfy people and he will pick Ernesto Sapon. Since then, I've had a few people calling me, hey, Ernesto, catch yourself for politics. I said, Ernesto can't be behind me. I'm doing my analysis. He hasn't spoken to me. He doesn't know I'm coming to put him on TV. Another person called me and said, hey, Ernesto Sapon, Obejai business. I said, I don't know. So Obejai, I really don't know. Okay, all right. That's Ernesto Sapon and Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. This is Dr. Kufu Dampare. No, I wanted Dampare and John Mahama, isn't it? Okay. So this is my friend. Now that's an interesting one, isn't it? That's an interesting one. So prepare Dampare and John Mahama and send it. Tell me when you have it. I'll come to my friend here, Eduse Poku. So people are saying that, look, you people say Dr. Bawumia must speak an Ashanti. Now, what kind of Ashanti, what better Ashanti can you have than pick a Champemhine, who is the son of Otunfo Pokuware, and if he is on the ticket to Dr. Bawumia, it doesn't get better than that. You're going to get 90% of Ashanti vote. Champemhine is sitting on that ticket, and he's a very clever man. He's a diplomat. That's his background. He worked at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Eduse Poku is a full diplomat. He's a full ambassador. That's his training. He's a diplomat. That's what you need for vice president. He's a diplomat par excellence. He's very, very good diplomat. People don't know that he worked at Ministry of Foreign Affairs. His father was nominated as Ghana's ambassador to Italy by the time he was nominated as Asantehene, so he couldn't do it. So his father is the old Asantehene, Otunfo Pokuware, whom we all fondly remember. Now they are telling Dr. Bawumia that, doc, almost pay Asante ticket. Why are you wasting your time? Eduse Poku is there. Pick him. He will just, because he's a chief, he just says that I'm not a chief anymore. I'm going into politics. And if Eduse Poku is on a ticket, all the constituencies in Ashanti will elect him. Then you are done. Is that a good ticket? Okay, if you don't know Eduse Poku or you want to get a feel of him, you've not heard of him at all, you know that he's a Champemhine and he's Otunfo Pokuware's son, and you want a feel of him. We had interviewed him before. Maybe you have lost that. Maybe you didn't see that interview. It's possible. I have a small part of it for you. The most humorous part of the conversation I had with a Champemhine in Kumasi back in 2020 or 2021, I can't remember. Here it is.
Children do you have?
Oh, I have money now, yeah, 9.
Money 9.
9.
Baku 9. Oh. And your man does.
A does prato.
And you do dear, but a does.
Does.
From one marriage?
Oh, you know Ashantis.
Ashantis. How do Ashantis do?
Oh no. We are not wayward, but at least 1 or 2 outside is fine.
It's fine. Okay. That's very interesting to hear. That's the humorous part of Nana Eduse Poku, who is Nana Champemhine of Ashanti, and he is also a running mate. This one, people were concerned that why did I say that Dr. Kufu Dampare is going to be President Mohammed's running mate? It's a public policy choice, and I'm telling you, people are thinking about it. They are telling John Mahama that you have to win and you have to break whatever you have to break. If you have to win and break something, then you have to go for Dr. Dampare. He's the guy people say brought sanity to the system and all that. I've seen some musicians visiting Dr. Dampare. I've not been invited, so I don't know whether me too I can go and start the Asrafo Penny and say that, Chief Constable, how are you? And then they'll put a picture of me and him. I've seen Kojo Intri, the legend. I've seen Kofi Kinata, the superstar. I've seen Stoneboy. And it's a good move. So generally, Dampare has effective PR quotient. he has a positive PR quotient. So if you look at the PR context, and if you look at what can be hit, so in politics, you're going for this kind of big positions. You look at few things. When we present Paul Adom-Otchere, what are people going to say about him? How are they going to hit him negatively? Is this something we can sustain? Is it a crossfire we can sustain? Okay, that's one. What is the PR quotient? What's the PR value? How many people know of him? If we go and stand in Asankregua and we say that the candidate for parliament is Paul Adom-Otchere, would they say, who is Paul? Is it the guy? Is it the guy? Or would they say that, who is that? Who is that? So you look at that as well. Name recognition, effectiveness, people. Okay, then we look at, okay, when the person meets Paul Adom-Otchere, when he meets him the first time, those of you who know Paul Adom-Otchere, what is his kind of energy? Is this something people would look at him and listen to him? The answer is no, then we should be careful. The answer is yes, okay. So even if they don't know him, when they meet him, that means we have to take him everywhere. 275 constituencies, we have 1 month. Can we do it? Those are the conversations they have. So in all of those conversations in that mix, Adom-Otchere is standing very tall. To partner a ticket that is difficult, both tickets are difficult. Break the 8 and I'm coming back, they are all very difficult. A ticket that is difficult, a ticket that needs excessive convincing. Both of them, break the 8 and I'm coming back, they need excessive, in fact, I'm coming back needs more convincing. He needs more convincing. Unless, of course, his work is done for him by the opponent. The opponent is so bad that he comes. But if they are on an even keel and they have to convince that I have to come back, it's a bigger way to, it's a bigger job. It's a more, I mean, you cannot underestimate the task that you have to achieve with, I'm coming back. So if you have that kind of difficulty, the person who can put himself in front is a person like Adom-Otchere. Why don't you do that? So that's the reason why we put that up. It's 20 minutes.